Listen closely, because what I'm about to say may explain everything you haven't been able to put into words. You haven't been changing. You haven't been evolving. You haven't been improving. Your spirit has been transforming faster than anything around you can keep up with. And that's why life has been feeling so strange lately. There is a shift happening inside you that the environment around you hasn't caught up to yet. You've been feeling the tension of being spiritually ahead while still living in a world that feels spiritually behind. You've noticed the discomfort, the disconnect, the sudden emotional distance from certain people, certain environments, and even certain versions of yourself. And none of this is random. There's a reason you feel restless in the same places where you once felt comfortable. There's a reason you feel misunderstood by people who used to know you. There's a reason your spirit feels alive, alert, awake, while your surroundings feel old, stale, or strangely unfamiliar. It's because you have outgrown the atmosphere you're standing in. Your spirit has risen, but your environment hasn't moved yet. And right now, heaven is drawing your attention to this tension, not to punish you, but to reveal something powerful. Your internal transformation has accelerated beyond the speed of your external reality. You're becoming someone your old surroundings can no longer contain. If you've been feeling like you don't belong in places that once felt like home, like conversations drain you that once entertained you, like you're walking with new clarity while others around you still move in circles, like your inner world is expanding while your outer world feels tight, restrictive, or outdated. It's because your spirit is stepping into a reality your surroundings cannot yet reflect. You may have thought something was wrong with you. You may have wondered if you were losing interest in life. You may have blamed yourself for disconnecting or pulling away. But what if nothing is wrong? What if your spirit simply grew too quickly to fit where you are? What if heaven accelerated something in you, and now everything around you must shift to catch up? Today you're going to understand why you feel the way you do. You're going to understand the spiritual transformation that has quietly, powerfully unfolded inside you. And by the end of this message, you'll recognize the 11 prophetic signs that confirm it. But first, let me tell you where this message is coming from. And as all of this rises inside you, the restlessness, the awakening, the quiet expansions you can feel, but can't fully name, something else rises too. A sense that this isn't coming from you alone. You didn't manufacture this transformation. You didn't force it. You didn't wake up one day and decide to outgrow everything around you. No, this movement within you has a source. You are being reshaped by something higher, something wiser, something that has been guiding your spirit long before you ever saw the signs. What you're feeling is not coincidence, not imagination, and not emotional turbulence. It is evidence of God's hand working in the hidden places of your being. Because when heaven begins a work in you, it rarely announces itself with fanfare. It begins quietly, subtly, softly, like morning light slipping through a window before the sun has fully risen. You don't notice the exact moment the room brightens, you just suddenly realize you can see more than before. That's what's been happening inside you. God has been increasing your spiritual visibility. He's been widening your inner horizon. He's been stretching your capacity to perceive what you once overlooked and to feel what you once ignored. And even when you thought you were drifting, you were actually being drawn, pulled towards something deeper, truer, more aligned with who you were created to become. Your surroundings didn't change because you changed first. Your routines didn't shift because you were losing interest. They shifted because heaven was elevating your sensitivity. People didn't feel different because you became distant. They felt different because God expanded the space inside you, and now your spirit needs more room than they can offer. This is why you've been feeling like you're living between two realities, the one within you and the one around you. One is moving, unfolding, and awakening, while the other is still settling, still familiar, still slow. And God sees the strain this creates. He knows the quiet confusion. He knows the longing for clarity. He knows the weight of trying to explain to others what you barely understand yourself. That's why this moment matters. Because this is where heaven steps in, not to slow your transformation, but to give it context, meaning, and purpose. There is something sacred about being transformed faster than your environment. It means God is preparing you ahead of time. It means He is shaping you before He shifts you. It means He is aligning your inner world with where He intends to place you next. You are being prepared for rooms you haven't entered yet. You are being shaped for relationships you haven't met yet. You are being strengthened for assignments you haven't stepped into yet. Your surroundings may not reflect your growth right now, but your spirit is already standing in a place your life hasn't caught up to. And God is the one orchestrating this timing. He is the one accelerating your inner evolution. He is the one awakening parts of you that once slept. He is the one calling you forward even while your present environment remains still. What you feel is not imbalance. It is preparation. What you sense is not disconnection. It is elevation. What you're experiencing is not spiritual confusion. It is spiritual acceleration. And now that the source of this transformation is clear, we can begin to uncover what heaven has been trying to reveal all along. Now that the source of this inner shift has been drawn into the light, let's step deeper into what heaven has been orchestrating within you all along. Because the transformation taking place inside you is not random, seasonal, or emotional. It is prophetic. It signals that God is preparing to reposition you, realign you, and reassign you. You've been feeling a spiritual pull, a stretching, a subtle but undeniable acceleration within your inner world. It's almost as if your spirit has already stepped into the next chapter, while your surroundings remain stuck in the previous one. That sensation of being ahead internally but waiting externally is the mark of someone God is transitioning. When heaven begins a transition, your spirit moves before your life does. This is why your desires have shifted without warning. Why your priorities have rearranged themselves. Why certain conversations feel shallow. Why the places that once fed you no longer satisfy you. Why you sense an unseen next even when nothing around you hints at change. Your spirit has already crossed into that next, but your environment hasn't received the memo yet. And here is the prophetic truth. God accelerates your inner world first so that when the external shift comes, you are already prepared. It is divine efficiency. It is spiritual precision. It is heaven, ensuring that when the new season arrives, you don't enter it as your old self. You've been outgrowing people not because they are bad, but because your spirit is maturing. Heaven has raised your discernment, sharpened your vision, and elevated your emotional intelligence. You can feel motives you used to miss. You can detect spiritual atmospheres you used to overlook. You can sense when something aligns with your destiny and when something doesn't. This sensitivity is not a burden. It is evidence of the transformation. God has been unveiling layers within you, strength you didn't know you had, convictions you didn't know were forming, clarity you didn't know was crystallizing. You're noticing things you never saw before, not because the world changed, but because you changed. Your spirit is operating at a higher frequency. Your soul is shedding old limitations. Your mind is awakening to deeper truths. And heaven has been quietly watching this unfold, guiding each step, arranging encounters, removing distractions, and placing you in positions that seemed uncomfortable but were necessary for your spiritual acceleration. Consider this. Why did you suddenly lose interest in things that once consumed you? Why did you stop seeking validation from places you used to depend on? Why did your heart become less attached to people who once held space in your life? It's because God upgraded your identity before He upgraded your environment. You are being realigned with your purpose. You are being recalibrated for your future. You are being restored to the version of you that heaven always intended. This inner elevation has made you a mismatch with the surroundings that once felt familiar. And that mismatch is a prophecy in itself, because nothing in your next season will resemble the constraints of your previous one. Heaven is lifting you out of spiritual stagnation. Heaven is delivering you from emotional patterns that once held you. Heaven is shifting you out of atmospheres that no longer reflect who you are becoming. Your spirit is preparing for a life your environment hasn't yet unlocked. And the most powerful part, you didn't ask for this acceleration. You didn't plan it. You didn't initiate it. God triggered it. He saw what was coming before you did. He knew what you would need. He knew who you were becoming. He knew how quickly He had to move within you. This is the prophecy unveiled. Your spirit is transforming faster than your surroundings because heaven is advancing you ahead of schedule. You are being positioned for something larger than what your current environment can hold. And now that the prophetic picture is clear, we can begin to explore the spiritual meaning behind all of this, the depth beneath the transformation. To understand the deeper significance of what's happening inside you, you must look at the spiritual laws and divine patterns woven throughout Scripture and throughout the lives of those God transformed before positioning. Whenever God accelerates a destiny, He always transforms the person before He transforms their surroundings. Look at Joseph. His spirit matured in isolation long before his environment shifted to the palace. His insight sharpened in prison, his wisdom deepened in darkness, and his identity solidified in spaces that did not match his calling. His surroundings looked nothing like his promise, but his spirit was being prepared ahead of time. That's what's happening to you. Look at David. He was anointed in secret, and his spirit began to rise long before the throne ever became his reality. He grew in courage while still tending sheep. He grew in worship while still hidden in fields. He grew in leadership while still overlooked. His spirit outgrew his environment long before he entered the environment he was destined for. That's what's happening to you. Look at Moses. His calling awakened in the wilderness, a place that did not resemble the future God intended for him. His spirit was transformed in exile, reshaped through solitude, refined through silence. His surroundings remained unchanged, but he was not the same man he had been. Again, that's what's happening to you. These patterns reveal a spiritual truth. Transformation always precedes transition. God always upgrades the vessel before He upgrades the assignment. He refines the inner world before He shifts the outer one. He strengthens the foundation before He reveals the calling. Your current environment is not evidence of where you are spiritually, your inner world is. So if you've been feeling too big for your surroundings, too awakened for the conversations around you, too spiritually alert for the atmosphere you're in, too transformed for the life you're still living, it's because your spirit has already crossed into a higher dimension of purpose. This is the spiritual depth of your transformation. Your spirit is living in tomorrow while your surroundings are still living in yesterday. And this creates a spiritual tension that can feel confusing if you don't understand its meaning. You are sensing the future God is pulling you into. You are feeling the upgrades that haven't manifested outwardly yet. You are becoming aligned with a destiny that your environment has not yet mirrored. This is why conversations feel shallow. You're speaking from a deeper well now. This is why emotional patterns are breaking. You've outgrown cycles that once defined you. This is why restlessness rises. You can feel the new season pressing against your spirit, even though your surroundings still look unchanged. Recognize this. Your spirit is not waiting for permission from your environment. Your spirit is not negotiating with the past. Your spirit is not shrinking to remain familiar. It is expanding, rising, and stepping into alignment with God's timing. You may feel out of place, but you are not out of order. You may feel disconnected, but you are not lost. You may feel suspended between two worlds, but that is where transformation does its most powerful work. God is aligning your internal atmosphere with your destiny, and your surroundings will soon follow. But first, you needed to understand the depth of what is already awakened within you. Now that the spiritual foundation has been laid, it's time to reveal what you've been waiting for. The confirmations, the real-world signs that prove your spirit is transforming faster than your surroundings. These signs are not coincidences. They are spiritual indicators, subtle but irrefutable evidence that your inner world has already stepped into a higher dimension. And as you listen, you will likely recognize yourself in more of these signs than you expect. Sign 1. You feel out of place in environments that once felt comfortable. What used to feel warm now feels constricting. What once felt familiar now feels energetically heavy or misaligned. You walk into rooms where you used to belong, and your spirit quietly whispers, "This is not home anymore." Sign 2. Conversations you once enjoyed now drain you. Not because you think you're above anyone, but because your spirit has shifted into depth. Surface-level conversations feel like trying to breathe underwater. You're craving meaning, truth, honesty, and alignment. Anything less feels suffocating. Sign 3. Your intuition has become louder and harder to ignore. You sense things before they happen. You pick up emotional undercurrents in people's tone, posture, and energy. You discern motives without needing explanations. It's not paranoia, it's spiritual clarity. Sign 4. Your tolerance for toxicity has collapsed. The behaviors you once overlooked now disrupt your peace instantly. Chaos, manipulation, inconsistency, gossip, spiritual darkness. Your spirit rejects what it used to tolerate. You feel allergic to anything that pulls you backwards. Sign 5. You feel detached from your old identity. It's as if the old you is fading. You don't resonate with old habits, old roles, or old versions of yourself. You're shedding identities you once clung to. You're not lost, you're being reborn. Sign 6. You crave solitude more than usual. Not isolation solitude. Your spirit is craving space to breathe, space to anchor, space to continue growing at this accelerated pace. Silence feels sacred. Stillness feels nourishing. Sign 7. You feel restless without knowing why. There's this subtle internal stirring, a tension between who you've become and the environment that hasn't changed yet. You're not anxious. You're not overwhelmed. You're simply sensing where God is pulling you, even before you see it. Sign 8. You feel emotionally above situations that used to trigger you. Things that once would have shattered you now barely disturb your peace. You respond with clarity instead of reaction. You've outgrown emotional patterns that used to define you. Sign 9. You see people differently, not in a judgmental way, but in a spiritually perceptive way. You see beyond words into the energy, the intentions, the wounds, the truth. Your discernment has become a spotlight rather than a candle. Sign 10. You feel a calling you cannot yet name. There's a pull toward something bigger, a whisper of destiny that keeps rising inside you. You may not see the path, but you can feel the direction. Something is coming. Something is shifting. Something is preparing to unfold. Sign 11. You feel like you're waiting for something you can't describe. A door, a shift, a release, a divine realignment. You don't know what it is, but your spirit knows it's close. You can feel it like thunder in the distance, a soundless signal of something powerful approaching. These signs are not random fragments. They are the spiritual evidence of your internal acceleration. Your spirit is years ahead of your surroundings. Your intuition is months ahead of your environment. Your purpose is steps ahead of your current path. You are awakening faster than your world is changing. And now that the signs have become clear, we must address something equally important, the battles that accompany this transformation. Because with spiritual acceleration comes spiritual resistance. Every transformation, especially one this accelerated, carries its own set of silent battles, internal struggles, and emotional weight. These challenges are not signs of failure. They are signs of evolution. And if you've been feeling them, it's because you are transitioning into a higher spiritual identity. Let's unveil these hidden challenges so you can understand why they've been surfacing. Challenge 1. Feeling emotionally disconnected. You love people, but you don't feel connected to them the way you used to. Your spirit has shifted into a different rhythm, and the relationships around you haven't adjusted yet. It can feel lonely, but it's sacred. God is making room for new connections that match your frequency. Challenge 2. Struggling with internal contradictions. Sometimes you feel powerful and clear. Other times you feel uncertain and suspended. This is normal. You're standing between who you were and who you are becoming. The ground beneath you is shifting, but that doesn't mean you're unstable, just transforming. Challenge 3. Feeling misunderstood without doing anything wrong. People sense your growth even if they can't articulate it. Some respond with distance, some with confusion, some with insecurity, some with admiration. But very few truly understand you, and that's because your spiritual evolution is ahead of the environment they're still standing in. Challenge 4. Losing desire for things that once motivated you. You may feel unmotivated, not because you're lazy, but because your ambitions are being recalibrated. God is stripping away hollow desires so your future can be filled with meaningful purpose. Challenge 5. Experiencing unexpected waves of heaviness or exhaustion. Spiritual acceleration requires energy. When your spirit grows rapidly, your emotional and physical self needs time to adjust. This heaviness is not depression, it's recalibration. Challenge 6. Feeling like you're in a waiting room. You can feel what's coming, but you can't access it yet. It's like you're standing at the threshold of a door that hasn't opened. This waiting is not punishment, it's protection. God is timing your transition precisely. Challenge 7. Sensing warfare around your peace. Whenever your spirit elevates, resistance rises. You may feel spiritual pressure, strange dreams, sudden irritations, or disruptions that seem to come out of nowhere. These aren't signs to stop. They're signs you're crossing into new territory. These challenges are not obstacles. They are markers of spiritual metamorphosis. They reveal how quickly your spirit is evolving and how carefully God is shaping you for what comes next. Now that the signs and the challenges are clear, the next step is understanding what heaven wants you to do during this transformation. Now that the signs are clear and the challenges have been brought into the light, it's time to step into the most important part of this moment, what heaven is asking of you right now. Because God never accelerates your spirit without giving you divine instruction to steward that transformation. These instructions aren't rules, they're alignments. Spiritual adjustments that protect your growth and prepare you for what's coming. Listen closely. Instruction 1. Honor your inner expansion, even if others don't understand it. Stop shrinking to make your surroundings comfortable. Stop pretending you're the same. Stop apologizing for your growth. Your spirit is rising because God elevated you. Don't dim what heaven ignited. Instruction 2. Create space for solitude and spiritual anchoring. Your transformation requires room. Don't feel guilty for needing silence. Don't feel bad for withdrawing. This is not isolation, it's incubation. God is grounding your spirit so it can stabilize at this higher level. Instruction 3. Release the environments you've outgrown. This is one of the hardest instructions. But some places can no longer hold the weight of who you're becoming. If a room shrinks your spirit, that's heaven telling you it can't carry your future. Instruction 4. Pay attention to what brings peace and what brings friction. Your spirit is now sensitive to alignment. When something disturbs your peace, quickly take it seriously. When something expands your inner world effortlessly, honor it. Peace is a compass, not a luxury. Instruction 5. Let your intuition speak without silencing it. God upgraded your discernment for a reason. Trust the warnings, trust the nudges, trust the insights that arrive without explanation. Your intuition is not guessing, it's remembering what heaven already knows. Instruction 6. Protect your energy with sacred boundaries. Not everyone can walk with you at this pace. Not everyone can understand what God is doing in you. Setting boundaries isn't pushing people away. It's preserving your spiritual momentum. Instruction 7. Stop forcing yourself into old versions of your life. If it feels tight, heavy, stagnant, or draining, that's a divine sign. Your spirit has moved forward. Trying to go backward will suffocate your growth. Instruction 8. Practice obedience in the small, subtle things. The next chapter isn't built on dramatic leaps, it's built on quiet alignments. The moment heaven whispers, follow. The moment your spirit nudges, respond. This is how momentum is maintained. Instruction 9. Prepare your life for the shift you haven't seen yet. Clean your space. Organize your priorities. Let go of what no longer serves you. You are making room for the life that's approaching, one you can feel, even if you can't see it. Instruction 10. Stay present even as your spirit moves ahead. Your spirit may be living in the future, but your steps are still in the now. Don't disconnect from the moment you're in. God is shaping you here while preparing you there. These divine instructions are your guideposts, your spiritual navigation as you transition from who you were to who you're becoming. And as you follow them, something powerful begins to unfold. You start to feel protected, not overwhelmed. You start to recognize guidance, not confusion. You start to see that you're not walking this path alone. Which brings us to the next truth. Heaven wants you to hear. In the rapid acceleration of your inner world, it's easy to feel exposed as though your spirit is moving faster than your footing. But hear this clearly, you are not unprotected. You are not unguarded. You are not walking into this transition alone. God has gone before you. God is beside you. God is within you. You haven't been growing by your own strength. Heaven has been fortifying you from the inside out. Every moment you felt alone, you were actually being carried. Every moment you felt uncertain, God was anchoring you. Every moment you felt the shift, but didn't understand it, He was aligning you with your destiny. This is why the attacks didn't break you. This is why the confusion didn't derail you. This is why the isolation didn't destroy you. This is why the pressure didn't crush you. Because your transformation wasn't happening in an unguarded space. It was happening under divine supervision. Right now, even as your surroundings lag behind your spiritual growth, God is protecting the gap. He is covering the distance between who you are becoming and where you currently stand. He is ensuring that nothing from your old environment sabotages the new identity that's emerging. You are protected in transition, and not only that, you are supported. Heaven is assigning clarity, strength, and spiritual reinforcement. Angels are ministering to you in ways you cannot see, but can feel. Divine protection is woven into your steps, your decisions, your inner shifts. God is not watching you grow, He is growing you. God is not watching you walk, He is guiding your feet. God is not watching you rise, He is lifting you. And the very tension you feel, the misalignment between your spirit and your environment, is proof that God is involved. He wouldn't elevate your spirit this quickly unless He was preparing to elevate your life. You are safe. You are covered. You are seen. You are held. And now that you understand the protection surrounding your transformation, it's time to glimpse what this transformation is leading you toward. Now let's step into the part your spirit has been yearning for, the fulfillment of everything God has been building within you. Because this inner acceleration isn't random, and it isn't temporary. It is leading somewhere. It is shaping you for a version of your life you haven't experienced yet, but have already begun to feel rising within you. So let me tell you what happens when your surroundings finally catch up to your spirit. Your life begins to shift with the same intensity that your inner world shifted. Opportunities align effortlessly. Doors that were once stuck suddenly swing open. People who match your new spiritual frequency begin to appear as if out of nowhere. Conversations deepen. Purpose sharpens. Peace becomes your baseline instead of your battle. This is the moment when everything that felt disconnected suddenly finds harmony. Your spirit has already gone ahead into this future, and soon your reality will follow. You'll wake up one day and realize that the tension you've been feeling, the misalignment, the restlessness, the detachment, was actually a sign that your spirit was already standing in the place God was leading you to. And when that happens, you become unrecognizable, not in appearance, but in essence. Your confidence becomes quiet, steady, and rooted. Your decisions become bold, clear, and uncompromised. Your energy becomes stronger, purer, more magnetic. Your presence begins to shift atmospheres instead of adapting to them. You become someone who doesn't chase alignment, you create it. Someone who doesn't seek validation, you embody truth. Someone who doesn't fear transition, you welcome evolution. This transformation is not about becoming a new person, it's about becoming your true self. The self you buried to survive. The self you silenced to fit in. The self you dimmed to keep the peace. The self heaven always recognized, even when you didn't. This fulfillment phase brings clarity where there used to be confusion. It brings purpose where there used to be drifting. It brings momentum where there used to be stagnation. You will step into rooms that feel like they were built for the person you've become, not the person you used to be. You will speak with authority you didn't realize you carried. You will attract connections that align with your spirit, not your wounds. You will walk with a sense of timing that feels divinely orchestrated. This is when your reality begins to mirror your spirit. And when that alignment happens, your life will look different. You'll feel guided instead of lost. You'll feel grounded instead of shaken. You'll feel purposeful instead of restless. You'll feel expanded instead of confined. This is the fulfillment of the internal work God has done. Your spirit was transformed first so that when this moment arrives, you would have the capacity to hold it. God accelerated your inner world so your outer world wouldn't overwhelm you. And now, as everything begins to shift around you, you will finally understand. The tension wasn't punishment, it was prophecy. The misalignment wasn't confusion, it was preparation. The discomfort wasn't dysfunction, it was destiny. You are stepping into the life your spirit already entered. And soon, you will see it unfold before your eyes. Before this message closes, I want to speak directly into the core of who you are, not the version shaped by your past, not the version limited by your surroundings, but the version rising right now, the one heaven has been awakening, accelerating, and preparing. Take a breath and let these words settle into your spirit. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not drifting. You are not failing. You are transforming, faster than your surroundings, faster than your circumstances, faster than people can perceive, faster than your old identity can keep up with. You are stepping into alignment with God's timing, God's clarity, God's purpose. Everything inside you that feels different, new, expanded, unfamiliar, that's not instability. That's growth. That's elevation. That's heaven unveiling the future inside you. So here is the blessing I speak over you. May your spirit stay anchored as God continues to elevate you. May you walk with courage into environments that match your transformation. May you release every space your soul has outgrown. May your discernment stay sharp, your peace stay protected, and your intuition stay loud. May God surround you with divine connections who recognize who you are becoming, not who you used to be. And may every misalignment in your life shift into divine order. You are chosen for acceleration. You are chosen for clarity. You are chosen for purpose. You are chosen for transformation. Your spirit has already stepped into tomorrow. Now your life is preparing to follow. If this message spoke to your soul, let your voice be part of the movement God is building. Comment below with, "My spirit is ready." Like, share, and subscribe for more prophetic messages that keep you aligned, awakened, and connected to what heaven is doing in your life. Your transformation is not slowing down. Your destiny is not delayed. Your future is already unfolding. And this is only the beginning.